This is the Getting Better Together Empowerment Series. We are focused on getting healthier, getting happier, getting wealthier, and getting wiser. We have some people here on the panel. We got some community in the room. We have a special guest who's online with us.
So my name's, again, Chris Odom, and my background and experiences, I'm a Planet Fitness franchisee. I've been a Planet Fitness franchisee since 2011. Exercise and health is really a lifestyle, and it's really set in your daily routine. And you've got to just build some basic habits. And we always tell all of our members, just show up. You don't have to be, in the best shape. You don't have to know exactly what you're doing. Just show up, get a routine of being there 10, 15 minutes, and then that will start a pattern where you'll exercise and going to the gym or just doing any form of physical activity will become part of your daily routine.
Really being intentional about showing up, about who we are every day, and committing to, even if it's 10 minutes, committing to that 10 minutes. So we have to do that holistically. We have to do that from our spiritual, our personal, our emotional selves, as well as the physical things in our lives.
You've opened up a box.
Yes.
And now you've got all these things that you're dealing with, and you're okay with sharing it with certain people.
Yes.
Whereas before you did not necessarily do that.
Yes.
And there's a certain comfort level with this group. And I love that. I love the fact that I feel like I could share with anyone in this group. And that's key. People have to feel comfortable. I don't care where you are or what you do.
This is what success looks like. This isn't an anomaly. It's not an accident. It's very intentional. It's intentional and organic. You can see we're live. We don't care. We just like, hey, let's go. Tears are flowing. We're like, let them flow.
Let them flow.
Let them flow, right? We're all the most organic and authentic that we can be, because we're like, we are here for community. This is about empowerment and it's about healing. And unless we show up authentically, we can't expect other people to do the same.
The best preventative medicine is exercising, and participating in your own rescue and making sure you are focused on your own health. If anything comes up, you're already prepared. You've already got that armor that you need to get through anything. You got to be vulnerable and transparent with yourself for you to kind of break down and realize, I've got to get through this, whatever these hurdles are in my life. And as long as I'm kind of putting these barriers around my thinking, what my perception is, I'll never be able to get on the other side.
We have to lead the rescue as it relates to ourselves. And what does that allow when you see people present to your to your workout centers? What do you find people, really leaning into blowing it up, and how do they simplify it so that it's not 2 weeks, right? But that they just build that habit, because that's what this series is about.
A lot of times people come in for health reasons, like the doctor said, hey, if I don't, reduce my blood pressure or I've got, cancer in my family, or I've got aches and pains and different ailments, or I'm overweight and hypertension, high blood pressure, all those things that, it's going to impact your overall, quality of life and your longevity for life. So, those are things that usually bring people in, but trying to really create that environment that we're here to support you helps people to stay. And so I think this any space you're in, you've got to, evaluate your circle of friends. Maybe they're not the right people. You might need a new circle. Sometimes your friends are people holding you back and not letting you. They don't want you to change, because that's going to make them uncomfortable. They might have to change. They don't want to do that. So it's around being around the people who are on this new path that you want to be on.
One of the things that we have to have a relationship with ourselves. We have to learn to love ourselves, because when we love ourselves, then we're going to do differently. So that love relationship starts with ourselves. So there's something inside of all of us that are here that's come and said, I love myself enough to want to do better and to be better. And so you glean from the other people's stories and the power. So that's really powerful.
Even the people who are dedicated to the gym, there's many days where you don't feel like getting up and going. I think that's natural. So you just have to resist that, sense of, oh, I want to go back to sleep, or I don't want to put my workout clothes on and drive to the gym. think about that. Hey, if I'm loving myself, this is gonna help me to be a better version of myself. So, but I'm there too. There's days I didn't want to go work out this morning, but I had to go.
Self-care, fitness, wellness has to be a lifestyle. You have to value yourself enough to do whatever it takes to take care of you. Then I challenge myself. Okay, let me see how long I can walk. But then we had like the smoke, from the California fires that broke it up. Okay, so I had to start again. We had the snow, so I had to start again. But this time, where I was trying to go for 2 years. I was working on that, but at least I had a strategy the next time when it snowed. So I had my hiking boots. I'm out there in the rain, so I had my headgear. I was waterproof. So I got out there no matter what for 597 days until I got hit with the vid by a family member. So I just had to sit down. But I was going to force myself to go out there because I didn't want to break my streak. But 597 is where I got to. And so people could just understand your body's design. God gave us these fearfully and wonderfully made bodies that are healthy and hale and whole and can be disease free.
Every decision determines your destiny. I've said that multiple times.
In the gym business, we always ask, people always ask us, so what's your biggest competition? What's Planet Fitness' biggest competition? And our CEO always said one thing, the couch. That was our biggest competition. So getting people off the couch and motivated is always, and still today, our biggest competition. It's just about showing up. You can't just sign up. You got to show up too. And that's the difference.
Show up. I love
it. Going deep isn't difficult unless we haven't been doing it, which most of us haven't. So it's an underdeveloped muscle, but it's not inherently hard or difficult.
God gives you choice. When you wake up, what conversations will you hear? What conversations will you lead with? What conversations will allow you to move in community in a way that influences your community? How are you willing to transform yourself, lead your rescue in a way that inspires others?
We have so many things that we have to liberate ourselves from, whether it's, the stereotypes of being a woman or a mother or a wife. But for me, what I really thought about was those stereotypes that that bind us in terms of, what we think we can do and what we cannot do. I wanted to see how I could change my mindset so that I could become the person that I want to be, and I have grown so much.
Really?
And I really appreciate
that's so exciting.
Presenters and how much I've enjoyed it. I mean, I always love to learn new things, but often when I'm learning new things, it's about something that's not directly related to me. It may be about, how to do something better, like, but this was personally related to me. And I have grown so much, so I really appreciate all of you who have contributed and commented.
The co-creation, right?
When I think of liberation, I think of two things. I think of others.
Yeah.
Not necessarily self, but others.
Tell me
how I changes my environment. And my environment is not just the four walls in my home. My environment is any place I go.
Yes.
My job, out on the street at the mall,
yes,
in the salon, wherever I go, I can be a change agent. And because I am a change agent, I know who I am. I know who I belong to. So whenever you see me, if I don't speak to you, call me out. Call me out. Because something's going on in here. And you may be the person that could bring me right out of it. Because I'll say, I remember what you said.
Chris Odom was talking, and he gave the example of the individual who always says, I don't want to get up and get dressed and drive to the gym. I mean, we talk about limiting thoughts, right? I say that to myself all the time. I make it make sense. I got to get dressed twice. I got to get up, get dressed, drive to the gym, then I got to come home, get in the shower, get dressed to go to work. That's a whole lot of time, right? So limiting thoughts and just being aware of how our perceptions or lack thereof, right? What's more important, the hour that it took me to get dressed and go to the gym, or my heart, my lungs, my limbs,
All that.
my mind, my sleep? Like, what is the sacrifice being made?
You have to understand who you are as an individual. It's one of the things that I had to find out who I was as an individual and who I wanted to be, right? Knowing that I was in confinement, although I was there in the physical, my mind was never held captive.
Said it.
My mind was
The
never.
rumors like, hey, wait a minute. It's your body was on lockdown,
Body's gonna come and go,
That's right.
but your mind was free.
but your mind, you control that.
Wow.
You got control. You might not control the chains, the bars, the fences, but you will continue always to control this.
My therapist told me, I have a therapist,
Me too.
and she said that when I talked about my work, like the administration work, I just talked about it. But when I talked about my art, I lit up.
Right.
And she said that meant that you have to do art. You cannot not do art. And so I've been doing it for years now. I was doing it before she said it, but I became more purposeful about it. And now I'm in transition for 10 years at CD Forum, art was second and administration was first. And now art is first and administration is second. You really have to know why you're doing this work and how you're going to stay engaged in this work, because there's going to be the times when you want to quit. And there's going to be the times when people are going to tell you that you're not good enough, or you're going to feel like you're not good enough because you didn't get an opportunity, or you wasn't on a certain stage, or and so you have to know why you continue to do what you do. And as long as you can pull that out your back pocket, you can keep going. I took ownership of being ambitious, and there's going to be times where my family didn't know what the heck is a storyteller? Like, what are you doing? You have an MBA, you're broke, what's going on? And why aren't you working where you're supposed to be working? Why are you doing this art thing? And then I showed up at my auntie's funeral and I read a piece.
And they were like,
about, that's what you do? Oh, that's what you, okay. And so,
keep doing it.
and so I keep that as a reminder that my vision is my vision, and that I'm the only person that owns that vision, and so I need to stay ambitious.
Just this past Friday, a tragedy occurred to a young soul, and it's so unfortunate that this young man will not have the opportunity to experience being a parent, seeing a child graduate from high school, having the experience of being able to retire after working for a while. We're always reminded of that, unfortunately. So community is really important, because if we lose community, we lose ourselves. Our ability to survive, our ability to move forward, our ability to plan and make life better for those who are going to come behind us. It takes a village. There are so many decisions and details that have to be looked after to take care of these young folks. And it takes more than just one person, more than just one body to be able to do that. And so I think in my mind, in order for me to be liberated, I've got to give back.
I was watching a very short TikTok reel probably about 3 months ago, and the person was looking at the camera saying, if you have to tell someone something over and over and over again, it's not about them not understanding you, it's about them disrespecting you. And I cringed, because the measure of your communication mastery as a sender is, does it get received accurately and as you intended, and is it understood on the part of the receiver? Oftentimes people don't know what's step one, what's step two, what's step three. So we don't know the sequence, and we keep taking forward and sliding backward and getting frustrated or losing our motivation or our passion. So to have some guidance, to have some direction, to say, hold up, let's get the foundation straight. Let's understand how this thing is put together, even beneath your thoughts.
I noticed that when I really tapped into my saboteurs and the things that has served me and what has not served me, it makes me more determined to continue to be better. And so this has been a great experience for me, and it's what I needed, because I know that something deep inside of me is waiting to emerge, and this is just the beginning of the immersion.
We can get better together. We can show up and do this work together. So it's not over. Next week we're going to be talking about illumination, activation, and transformation. And none of this is going to be new, y'all. This is not a secret. You guys remember the major book, The Secret?
Yes.
Do you remember that? How transformational it was? Well, the secret about The Secret is that it ain't no secret, right? I'm saying, there is no secret, right? It is actually about you creating the life that you lead. Your decisions determine your destiny. It's not a secret, right? It is something that you can own. We have so many videos and clips and content. We want to hear from you, though. So again, email us, stay online, put your comments in the chat, like us and all the things, and we promise that you are going to continue to evolve, continue to transform, and guess what, y'all? We're getting better together. We're doing it!